I remember when Westmore Church of God first began. My parents and I had just moved here from Alabama City Church of God. My daddy was going to be the first choral director at Bradley High School. And so we had just moved to town, and at that time, they were creating a new church in Cleveland, and that was Westmore Church of God. When we came, we went to North Cleveland maybe 2 times, and we had heard that there was a new church, and my parents were interested in that church. So we visited there. Visiting there meant going to the headquarters, because that's where the first services were held, at the headquarters. We really enjoyed it. There was a variety of different preachers that preached for us there. I can't remember the earlier ones, but I do remember seeing that beautiful artwork all over. That's the main thing I remember about being in the headquarters as a child, remembering the artwork on the walls. And from there, we went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church over in the Bowman Hills area, and we were there for, I believe it was a year or two, and that was where it was really established. It was there that we were worshiping when we elected a new pastor, Pastor Floyd McClung. And around the same time as when we built and went to where the Westmore Church of God used to be on 25th Street. We built a portion of it, the portion that became the gymnasium at the time. So we were worshiping in that church. And while I was in that church, I remember as a child so many people playing a very vital role in even who I am now. Some of the ladies, such as Nancy O'Bannon and Evelyn Knight and Beverly Richardson, who was my Sunday school teacher, and Betty Baldry, many of them just had such an impact on my life. And it made me want to have an impact on children's lives today. And because of that, that's what I'm doing now, working in the children's ministry at my church, and I really enjoy it.
Now, at the time, your name and your family's name was?
My parents were Eddie and Jean Boyd. Eddie, my daddy, was a choir director at North Cleveland for a short time. And then he became a choir director at the Cumberland Presbyterian Church for a while in Cleveland, which he changed then to the South Cleveland Methodist Church for a while. He liked to direct choirs out of the Church of God for a while. But then my mother was the secretary at Westmore for many years for Floyd McClung and for Paul Henson. So she was there and the secretary. So
You've mentioned several people who've gone to be with the Lord. Are there 1 or 2 or 3 of them that someone who never knew them, you might tell them just a little bit about their characteristics?
Yes, I want to tell you about Helene Rowe. Don Rowe used to teach at Lee, and his wife Helene was very precious to me. When I was 8 years old, I was praying in the altar at Westmore, trying to receive this mysterious thing called the Holy Spirit. And she came and prayed for me for a long time after church. I finally received it, and she was so precious to stay with me and stay dedicated to praying with me the whole time. And it's still such a sweet memory in my mind.
What do you remember about Floyd McClung as a pastor?
Floyd McClung was the most understanding, loving, involved minister. He wanted to be with the people all the time, not just in church, but we would have something called afterglows, where after church on Sunday nights, we would all get together and either go to someone's house, or we would stay there at the church, or maybe even go to a restaurant. But we would all stay together in an afterglow and just get to know each other and talk to each other and fellowship. And that was something new. We had never experienced anything like that either at North Cleveland or in Alabama, so that was very nice. He was also such a biblical teacher. He was knowledgeable like nothing that we had ever heard. And we enjoyed both his personal ministry to us and also his biblical ministry from the pulpit. Okay, that good? Okay, yay, woo.